If not,
Hello
I'll find
everybody,
you something.
welcome back to some Vampyr. Picking up where we left off, we're going to talk to,
Good
whatever
evening.
was his name,
I'm
Martin or
Dr.
something?
Reed. Do you need any help?
Rest assured, I will help you, sir. Martin
Oh
Nightingale,
fuck, I
at your
forgot to
service.
check what
Please,
what was wrong with the woman.
take a look at my wares.
Your merchandise. I don't really see anything worth having. No offense.
None taken, sir. But please, I need to eat. Perhaps if you keep looking, you'd see something that takes your fancy.
Let me be frank. You're as much of a businessman as I am a werewolf, right?
Who the hell are you to question me? It's hard enough to stay clean when you don't have a place to sleep. I'm doing my best here.
I meant no offense, Mr. Nightingale. I was merely pointing out the fact that you're unlikely to survive long if you continue wandering this path.
And what should I do then, sir? Should I join the wet boot boys like so many others? No thanks. I'd rather be a bad seller than a dead gang member.
What can you tell me about the neighborhood? Have you got any friends around these parts?
Not really. Miss Gillingham smiles and says kind words, but I know she's lost her marbles, especially since her son died.
Tell me about this crazy woman. Madness is often mistaken for other conditions.
The poor woman's mad, all right. Kind and all, but she has so much trouble remembering things. She's taken me for a son more than once.
How interesting. I don't suppose you know what happened to her son.
Jack. Rumor has it he tried to tackle some gang lads. I didn't know him well, but I heard he was a nice enough chap. His old ma still thinks he's around.
Why not try seeking help instead of peddling your wares? I'm sure there are people around here that would gladly help.
There's always the night asylum. I heard it's run by a very nice man, but I'm no beggar. Not yet, at least.
There is no shame in asking for help, my boy. Sometimes it can even be the best course of action.
I don't feel okay with that. I'm gonna make a name for myself, and I'll do it by myself.
It's time to confess, Martin. You've exploited Miss Gillingham's weakness to your own advantage, have you not?
All I've done is smile at her and be kind to her. I've done no other harm than giving her what she needed. This is no crime.
You really are convinced you did nothing wrong. Young man, you are a fascinating case of shameless selfishness.
Can blame my folks for that. They taught me never to expect nothing from anyone except lies.
So it's bad parenting then? How convenient. Where are your parents?
6 feet under, I suppose. When the flu had weakened my father enough for him to be too weak to punch me, I figured it was time to run away.
Is that why you let them die of the flu? Because your father was beating you?
When the epidemic started, last summer, I begged them to leave town. Neighbors were dying, houses were looted, but they chose to stay.
Do you have any regrets about what happened?
I haven't got regrets, but sometimes I'd like to make sure they're gone. Dead for good. Like, it helps me sleep.
Show me what
Alright,
you have
let's see what he has
offer,
to
Mr.
drink.
Nightingale.
Alright, what do we got? We got Vampire. Okay, so that's probably something that I should get. Music box, that's probably something I should get. What's this purple one? Brisk blood sample. That can create stamina serums for vampires. Well, I don't really care about that, and he doesn't have any blue pieces, so. Now, do I have any thing to sell? Yep. Bracelets and rings.
I
Alright,
know I've got something that'll strike your fancy.
now, let's see. What did Enid have? Headache. And what do I currently hold? Hey, I got a treatment for headache. Oh yeah, I need to find, what were those things I bought too? I bought something that probably goes in here. Vampire Factions and Skulls, that's what it was. Vampire and the Guard will never have a common interest, never, not as long as I live, not after I die and pass the torch to another leader. I know some of us have witnessed a strange and huge vampire hunting down skulls just like we do. He is well dressed and seems to speak eloquently, but don't be fooled. If this unknown leech and his friends seem to hate skulls as much as we do, some Others offer them safe haven in exchange for obedience. Scouts in the north have reported that strange ceremonies occur in the secluded forests of Scotland. Ceremonies of blood and human sacrifice to old pagan gods. They may be adversaries to the London vampires, but none of these leech factions could be our allies. All vampires must be destroyed, and no alliance will be made between them and us. See, though, here's the thing, right? Like, I get it. Vampires bad. Must kill all of them. But at the same time, if you can make an ally of them, that gives you such an advantage in taking out the rest. Like, okay, now what was the other thing I bought? Music box. My dear Jack, I write this letter as long as I have the strength and the will, not that I have something to hide or to fear, except perhaps to forget what I want to tell you. I always knew you would become someone important, someone good and nice. I knew it since you were a child, when you preferred to read books rather than going to play outside. I knew it when you helped me carry groceries before you went to school and clean the house after you came back. I'm proud of you, my son, not only because I am your mother, but also because you deal so well with everything around you. I'm sorry I have recently become such a burden to you. Never forget I love you. I hope you never forget you love me, Enid. Alright, so that was obviously Enid's box there. We also have finished with Martin Nightingale. We got all of his hints. And we got that. Just mark it off the map. Okay, so let's go chat with Enid again.
Good evening, Miss Gillingham.
Of course.
I do like that you don't have to ask them over and over to come in.
So, Dr. Tippets.
Personal.
Enid, listen to me. You must not trust Martin Nightingale. Do you understand?
Martin reminds me so much of my Jack. I've not seen him here in quite some time.
Martin is not your son, Miss Gillingham. He's taking advantage of you.
No, Martin is not my son. My son's name is Jack. He always takes such good care of me. Who is this Martin you speak of?
Please listen. Martin is a young man who extorts money from you. Because of your vulnerability, miss.
What are you attempting, Dr. Tippets? If this is some kind of new experimental procedure, well, I do not like it one bit.
Yeah, she should definitely be in a hospital or something.
Tell me, Enid, why do you feel guilty about your son?
I know I'm a burden to my Jack. I know my mind and my thoughts are drifting away. I'm so sorry. I can't help it.
This is not your doing, Miss Gillingham. You do not have to apologize for your condition.
Of course I don't, Doctor. I've done nothing wrong, I swear it. What exactly are we talking about here?
Alright, well.
Goodbye, Miss Gillingham.
Oh, fuck me. Almost forgot again.
Dr. Tippets. What?
Yeah. Press for details. Okay, so we got all of her clues as well. So once we
attention, miss?
give her meds.
Dr. Tippets, I must confess I haven't felt that well of late.
I'll try my best. Here, take this. And please, try to get some rest.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you very much.
Goodbye, Miss Gillingham.
So that's it for Enid. So now we'll go and put these posters up. We got 5 posters. I'm assuming that one of these heads that we had, for some reason, they chose to mark off quests are is probably a fire. Yeah, so that's so that I can burn all of them if I so choose. Oh, come on around. There we go. Okay, so if that's fire, that means the rest of them must be actual places to put them. Come on. Head this way. Now, are any of these going to be... Oh, they are actually leading me into where enemies are. Great! That's exactly what I was hoping for. That I'd have to fight to put up posters to warn against myself. Oh, here we are.
Informing London's inhabitants of the presence of vampires. What does that make me? A double or a triple agent?
Danger is closer than you think. They are already here. Do not let them take the kingdom. See a vampire, seek for help. Ichabod Throgmorton. Throgmorton, expert vampire hunter. Alright, well, those 3 guys there. Look, ah, fuck me. That one is right behind them. It's not letting me because they're here and it wants me to stun this guy. Aha! And they walked away. I am fucking invisible. Alright. Let's get the fuck off the floor here. Off the ground, not the floor. I really wish they were less annoying to fight. Like, if they fixed the combat in this game, it would be so fucking good, right? But, like, just the fact that the combat is as shit as it is, like, I imagine a lot of people just stopped playing the game because of that. Like, I have to imagine that there was a decent amount of people that, like, started playing the game. But then once they got into, like, a few different fights, they're like, this just sucks so bad. And they probably went and, like, just watched a Let's Play or something of it. I mean...
Done. Mr. Throgmorton should be happy.
Alright. Report to Ichabod. Now, it says that he's here, but there's a decent chance that he isn't, since we left him at the other dogs. I mean, we can always check, because he does probably move over here at some point. Let me see here. He's supposed to be over here, but yeah, as you can see, he is not. Who's that? I don't know. Which means he's probably over there where we left him. So let's see. Oops, I don't know why he started running quite that. Why he went sideways on me there. But we should be able to get over there and talk to him anyway. And now that we have that gate open, we shouldn't have to fight our way across or anything. Hopefully he's still over here. It'd be weird if he wasn't, considering that's where we left him. But to be fair, it's also weird that we were able to get that quest from him while he was over here, nowhere near the posters, or where we're supposed to put them up.
Good evening, Mr. Throgmorton.
Dr. Reed, can I be of any assistance? Have you noticed anything suspicious lately?
Yeah, the Guard of Prewin are pricks.
I put up your public service announcement. Consider the common folk warned about the vampiric presence.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. You may not realize it, but you saved a great many lives today.
Do you really think they could be useful?
See the sad saint of the East End? How a single man can help so many people? I consider myself the discreet protector of these men and women.
Tell me, Ichabod, why do you consider yourself the protector of Sean Hampton's shelter?
He is a truly inspiring example. Dedicated, pious. His shelter is open to all, whoever they are. Most admirable.
You've never faced, let alone killed, a vampire, Ichabod. You're a fraud.
No, I'm not. I may embellish the truth concerning my achievements, but I'm totally dedicated to my quest.
Stop fooling yourself. You've never faced a vampire before. You wouldn't stand a chance.
Well, that's not true, sir. I've already faced one of these creatures.
Oh, really? And you're still alive.
Well, we did not actually fight. I let it go.
What do you mean?
I entered the vampire's den. The stench was terrible. I was ready to kill it. But then I saw it. Just a suffering soul like you and me. I spared her.
Tell me about the vampire you spared.
It was... She was a girl. Her body was a mess. I could see pus running from the deep wound. She was crying in pain.
You cared about her. That's what defines us as human, Ichabod.
Yes, but she was a truly evil creature. I'm haunted by the tragedies she caused ever since I spared her.
Goodbye, and good hunting, Mr. Throckmorton.
Alright, so I think that's all of his hints. It is. Great. Okay, that's another person down that we could... I don't know. It's weird. It does seem a little weird to go through all the trouble of learning all this stuff about them, even though I know I'm never going to kill them, you know? I'm also curious, because, like, I know that, like, as you kill people, it does lower the health of a district, and obviously if you kill any of the pillars, that severely lowers the health of a district. But I'm really curious as to, like, how bad, or how fast it gets bad, because, you know, obviously you need to progress in the main storyline in order to even kill some of these people, because you need to have a high enough, oh, what the fuck is it called? A high enough mesmerize, right? In order to get them away enough to kill them. Okay, that's another gate open. And there's our hideout. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there was a bunch of gates this way as well, but they were all closed from this side as well, right?
It's locked.
Yeah. But hey, if we need to, we got our hideout right there, which is nice. Alright, into the asylum we go, I guess. And who would
Good
you
evening,
be?
miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. May I have your attention for a minute?
Good evening, sir. My name is Giselle Paxton, but I don't have time for men like you.
Have we met before?
No, but I just need to look at your fancy clothes to know that you must be desperate to visit the docks at night.
That's quite judgmental of you.
Sir, I've led enough strikes when I had a job to identify you as an enemy of the working class.
May I ask what you do for a living?
I'm killing myself scraping for a living. And you? Have you ever had to struggle in your entire life?
Yep.
As I told you, I'm a doctor. You have to work a lot to earn that title.
Oh, a doctor. Born with money in a nice house, were we? Was Daddy a banker or a doctor himself?
Why such hatred? Are you judging me by my clothes and my job?
Course I am. Fuck, you're so blind. You don't even see your privilege. Lazy people like you disgust me.
I hate people like this. Just assuming that because, like, somebody looks or acts or something the way they do, that they automatically just have, like, the greatest life ever with no hardships, you know.
What can you tell me about this vicinity?
Tell you what, just spend a few weeks here, and then ask me that question again. If you're still alive, I mean.
If you have something to say, say it. I'm getting tired of all this.
Oh, you want information instead? Well, here's some for you. Giselle Paxton does not like you at all, Doctor.
You don't know me, Miss Paxton, and yet you see me as an enemy.
Your manners, your clothes, your words tell me everything about you, sir. I know your kind, and you don't belong here.
Oh no, Miss Paxton, you really don't know my kind. You have no idea who I am.
All right, okay. No need to get all worked up.
You speak of strikes and class enemy. Am I right to assume you're involved in trade union activism?
You bet I am. Well, I was. Nowadays, I'm just another worker blacklisted by the big companies.
You lost your job because of your beliefs.
Those bastards really hate a worker who refuses slave wages and unsafe conditions, especially when it's a woman.
Isn't the whole point of trade unions to help workers in need? Why don't they support you?
A few nights back, I lost the money my companions had asked me to hide. With me and my sister being penniless, they thought I stole it.
What really happened?
I drank too much that night. Strange men saw me count the money in that bar. Some sort of militia in uniform. I'm sure they robbed me.
Alright, so we got a new investigation
Well,
that
I'll
might
leave-
help us get on her good side. Let's see, can I open up this? Yeah, I can. This one, yeah. Okay, so I do believe... Investigation... Track that one. Oh right, we were supposed to potentially go and find the guy at the, in the sewers. We'll do the sewers next time, I think. We'll finish talking to people here, and then, yeah, next time we'll go and find the guy in the sewers. Hopefully I'll remember, but... Alright. So I don't know if I'll have to fight anyone for it. I mean, clearly she was probably talking about the guard of Prewin as to who saw her counting the money. But it seems like it should be over
This
here.
could be the
Now,
public house Giselle Paxton mentioned. I should investigate further.
wow, that skull just got wrecked. Okay, are you? I have a feeling he's on his at the end of his leash there. Well. Okay, so I'm assuming then that maybe it's on this guy that they killed.
Giselle's stolen
Yeah.
money.
Or no, they were killing
Prewin
us.
has some unethical ways of financing their war.
Oh, maybe that. No, they had to have been killing a skull, right? But like, I don't see a body of one over there, or like a loot bag on the ground either. So that's weird. But whatever. Maybe they were fighting over the money. I don't know how much is in this bag, but I can't imagine that it's enough to kill them. To kill your. Well, I don't know. I was gonna say kill your friend over, but I mean, I don't know if they even know each other to any degree. Oh, you know what? We were probably already at the super breaks. Now that I think about it, I do actually remember being like, oh, I don't want to go in there because it's loaded.
It's locked.
You again? What do you want?
I've identified the men who stole from you. You were right. They were members of some self-proclaimed militia.
I knew it! Did you find the money too?
I'm assuming I can keep it if I want to, but
Yes, here it is. They thought they could finance their activities with it.
I never thought a man like you would be kind enough to... I misjudged you. Badly. Well, thank you, sir.
Will you give the money back to your comrades then?
Fuck those bastards who fired me. I'll give the money to Miss Gillingham. Her son Jack was a friend of mine. He was killed recently.
I know you were friends with Miss Gillingham's son, Jack. Tell me about his death.
Jack's murder has been a shock to the neighborhood. A sign that the situation is now out of control.
Why is that?
There has always been tension between the Wet Boot Boys and members of the trade union. But a murder? That's a first.
Who killed him?
No one will ever know. One thing is certain. While Jack was alive, I had one less reason to drink.
Why does that upset you so much?
I wish I had found the time and words to tell him how important he was to me before it was too late. Another failure for Giselle Paxton.
Alright.
Well, I'll leave you for now.
So we do have an
Goodbye,
eavesdrop
Miss
with her, and probably some other stuff once we actually enter the asylum. Oh, hello. Oh, no, that was just her going in. Somebody else. Hey, look, there's Sean. Level 6, right? So you would think that I would need to be level 6 in order to embrace him, because I know that's going to be one of the options of how to deal with him in the end. But I guess maybe, and I imagine that's why they're level 6 as well, is so that you can't do it before then. But at the same time, like, why make them 6? Like, since they're going to be a part of the main storyline, you're going to have to do it as part of the main storyline, and your mesmerize level goes up with the main storyline. Why not make them the level that you'll get when dealing with them, right? So, like, you can't do it earlier, but then, you know, it makes sense once you do it that your level has gone up, right? I think that would make much more sense. Nobody back, like, no skulls or that back here. That'd be weird if there was, I guess. Seem to be doing some construction or something back here, though. God, where are all the blue parts? Like, got so many green in that, and like, I don't know if it's just like I haven't advanced, like we're not in a late enough chapter for them to bother giving us the blue parts because they don't want us to upgrade our weapons that quickly, or what. Alright, well, let's check to this. Maybe that's the lady's sister.
Good evening, miss.
Mentioned one, right?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Can I help you?
A fancy doctor lurking at night by the docks? Not fishy at all.
And what about you? Working outside at night in this dangerous part of town?
You want to know my secret? I'm trying to earn money. And I'm Lottie Paxton, by the way.
You know, she kind of looks familiar, like an actress that I've seen in stuff, but I can't tell you which one.
Is it not dangerous to work here at night?
As long as I have good legs, I can run away from trouble. The sad saint now provides me and my sister a bed and a roof. I don't want to lose that.
Are you homeless, Miss Paxton?
Mr. Hampton's night asylum is our new home now. It's a safe place for me and my sister.
What can you tell me about the Sad Saint?
It's just the nickname of Sean Hampton, the sad saint of the East End. He gave me shelter, and he's not always sad.
What can you tell me about this place? How are things here?
It may be okay for a strong girl like me, but a dandy doctor from the city like yourself, you better watch your back, Mr. Reed.
You really think I should go back to a safer place, miss?
No, I think you had better stay and help as many people as you can. Just avoid the wet boot boys. Those bastards are worse than the epidemic.
Which local dangers must I avoid?
Well, the gangs, the thieves, the drunks, the jobless. A man with your fancy clothes will attract a lot of attention.
Well, I am not someone so easily intimidated.
Glad to hear that. And if you get into trouble, you can always seek help at Sean Hampton's shelter. No one would dare to be violent there.
Aren't we standing there? And I need more hints.
Goodbye, Miss
Alright.
Paxton.
Alright, well, I'm sure there's probably some around here. I was going to see if I could teleport up, but I guess they probably wouldn't let me do that, considering I would be clearly visible to her. Handwritten prayer. Dear Lord, this is my prayer for my beloved mother, Gertrude Paxton, who now awaits her daughters in heaven. Until that day, I thank you for allowing me to wake up and go through each new day in honest poverty and modesty. Please protect the good Mr. Hampton, who let us sleep in his night shelter. I humbly ask you to forgive me for the resentment I feel towards my sister Giselle since Mother died. Blessed be her soul. Thank you, God, for hearing me. Amen. Alright. Well, that's one for Lottie. I guess it was her that wrote that. Let's just keep looking around, though, to see, because we might get stuff for her. We might get stuff for her sister. Oh, an old newspaper. The bomb exploded just after dawn in front of the Dawson & Dawson Munitions factory, the largest employer in the district. The detonation smashed the windows of all the factories in North-South Wark. It's a miracle only 2 people died in the attack, confirmed Chief Superintendent Alexander Brighton. Okay, so that must be our hint
It's locked, all right.
for the drunk guy, because his thing was all about that.
I cannot enter.
Was all about that bombing thing. Okay, so Sean is on this floor, so I have no problem exploring the upper and lower sections of this. Burnt letter. Miss Paxton, I recently heard that Hampton shelter for months and money for or support of any kind burned. Without a positive answer from you, I may be burned. My boys always get what they burned, accepted for an answer. Keep on refusing to answer me, and wet boot boys come. You and your sister. I mean, some of those I feel like I could probably fill in some blanks. Whether or not it would be the right words, I don't know, but it would be the right sentiment, probably, at the very least. Okay. I wonder if we'll find
There is so much work to do.
any more, like, weapons or that in here. Okay, so I don't want to go in to see Sean yet. Because I don't know what he's going to have us do or what we're going to have to do to help him. So I kind of want to go and do the sewer bit before talking to him, since he's obviously going to progress the main quest, whereas the sewer bit is obviously a side quest, right?
Hope Giselle will pull through.
Let's see, anything else up here? Oh, there's some here. There's a little bit of money. You know, I can't tell if we're doing good. I mean, I guess we are doing good on money. I was going to say I can't tell because there's so little to spend it on. But I guess that just means that we are doing good on money, right? Like, the fact that I have money and don't know what to do with it, I guess means that, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I mean, that is generally a good sign. Like, it means that you're well off, right? Like, when you have money, it's like, man, I have this money and nothing to spend it on, you know? It's like, is there anything I absolutely need? No. Is there anything I kind of need? No. Is there anything I just want? No. It's like, is there anything I desperately want but don't need? Nah. Is there anything that I, like, kind of want and may as well get? Not really. It's like, well, I guess I'm fucking doing great. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's just the outside, right? Alright.
Glad
Got
to
some more
see
clues.
you again, Mr. Reed.
Lottie, tell me about the Wet Boot Boys. I know they've threatened you.
Edwina Cox wanted me to provide her with information about Mr. Hampton's resources. I refused.
Is that not dangerous?
Fuck them and their lies. They claim they protect the interests of the neighborhood, but they are just greedy parasites like all the rest.
Does it matter which I do here? No, it doesn't look like it.
I respect your courage, Miss Paxton, and I hope life will never wear you down.
Dr. Reed, you know how to make a girl blush. I am glad you came to the docks, whatever your real reasons are.
I mean, she seems like a nice person.
Lottie, tell me about the death of your mother.
Giselle killed her, plain and simple. She killed her with her daily whims, her laziness, and her complaints.
That's quite a statement. You can't kill someone because you're fickle.
Mother was very ill, but I forgave Giselle. What I couldn't stand was how she cried at her funeral like she was the one left alone.
Perhaps your sister is not as tough as you are.
I know that, and I don't blame her. It just makes me sad that my own sister is the person I understand the least.
Giselle is the only family you have left. Don't you think it's time you forgave her?
Sometimes words are harder to forgive than acts, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
Okay, how many? Oh, well, we're not done. Oh, right, we have an eavesdrop, right? Because it's between her and her
Come now,
sister.
Lottie. There is
That
still
the
much
eavesdrop
work to
is.
do.
Okay, well, let's go see if Giselle has anything else to say.
You again? What do you want?
Hey, you're supposed to be nicer to me now.
Giselle, I know you sleep at Hampton's shelter. What can you tell me about him?
He provided a roof for me and my sister. I am grateful, of course, but he gives me the creeps.
Why is that?
He's always sad, like he's about to cry. He's always asking us to get closer to God, to give ourselves to the Lord. Creepy.
Okay. Anything else in here?
Giselle, tell me about the death of your mother.
After our father died, Mother worked so hard she made herself sick. We spent all the money we had on useless drugs and doctors. It was hell.
Hell? What do you mean?
The three of us were exhausted and desperate. And when I'm desperate, I tend to get angry. And I'm hard to live with. Lottie said I killed Mother.
You should talk to your sister. Whatever happened when your mother died, the truth lies somewhere between your two versions.
I don't want to talk about that. It was years ago. We Paxton sisters are tough. We don't apologize.
Alright, well,
I'll
whatever.
leave you.
Alright, so all we got left now is the eavesdrop between those two. Now, you know what, fuck it, because we'll finish off those twos. Forgive me, God, for what I'm about to confess. Sometimes I wish I never saved Dyson Delaney from drowning when he fell in the canal. There, I said it. Please forgive me, Lord, for I'm just a sinner. Dyson may be the most frustrating case I've ever had to deal with since I opened my night shelter in the East End. For years, I have tried to understand why this man regularly makes me so irritated, and I think I recently found why. Dyson has stopped fighting for good and forever. I've met so many heavy drinkers in my life, men and women, rich and poor, young and old. I've witnessed their fight with their demons, their past, their guilt, and their failures. Sometimes they can put a name on this inner evil of theirs, sometimes they have never been able to identify the real cause of their despair. But in most cases, for these men and women, to drink is a way to keep fighting, of course. Oh, to keep fighting, new sentence. Of course, it is useless and destructive form of struggle, but at least this self-destruction means that something makes them suffer and they still fight against the pain they feel so deep inside. Even a severe alcoholic like William Bishop keeps struggling with his addiction and asking for a salvation through the light of Christ. And as long as they wish to see this light, there is a place for hope. Dyson Delaney has no hope left. He does not drink to smother his pain. No. I'm now convinced he conscientiously drinks for the sadist joy of smothering all hope. I really don't know what is a worse sin, to deliberately cast away hope from your own heart or complacently bask in self-destruction. Alright. Okay, that's looted, that's looted. Oh, Sean? This cabinet seems suspicious.
Why the long face, Doctor?
It looks like we both have changed a lot. I must confess, it saddens me, Sean.
Put your faith in the Lord, Doctor. He has a plan for all of us. We may not always see it, but he does.
Since you left Pembroke, the amount of blood that has been shed, it's hard to believe you, Sean.
Ask what you will. As the Lord is my shepherd, I will not speak a lie to you.
Aren't you afraid of what you've become?
We are blessed, Doctor. Can't you see it? The Lord has made us able to walk amongst the plague and aid those that need it.
Do you think this is a blessing when God's own house and holy symbols repel you?
If that is your burden, Doctor, so be it. But I do not fear the cross, nor am I forced to take the life of another. My kind doesn't share your imperfections.
But you must drink blood now to survive.
No, not your scripture. Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood hath eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. So saith the Lord. I only need to eat flesh, no blood.
Why return here?
This is my home. These people are my flock. You will always find me where I am needed.
Wonders never cease. Scal managing an asylum.
And what of you? A vampire doctor? Meals laid out before you. Yet you restrain.
And what about William Bishop? He tried to take care of you. But this hunger, this thirst, cannot be restrained.
Alas, poor William. He had a good soul, but was weak in spirit. He could not shake the thirst for booze, never mind blood. But have faith. My will is far stronger than his.
Why did you kill Miss Jones at the Pembroke Hospital?
Killed old Harriet? You must be mad, Doctor. Why would I do such a thing?
So you claim Miss Jones' death was not by your hand, nor the other incidents at Pembroke?
Though Harriet was an angry, spiteful woman, she was one of God's creatures. I have nothing but love for all he has made.
But you were close to her.
Of course. But she was lost, separated from the fold. She did not see the hand of the divine in my blessed condition.
People have been murdered. I've seen the blood. I don't believe you can be trusted.
Have a little faith, Doctor. If you will follow, I will guide you to the light.
How do you plan to do that?
Take this key of the old sewers. The entrance is by the riverbank, south from here. There you'll find all the proof you need.
Oh, so it
Very well.
it's possible I couldn't have even gotten
You
the
have
sewers to save the
definitely
other guy then.
intrigued me. I hope you're right, Sean.
I'll be here when you return. If you still think I'm a threat then, well, I surrender myself to your judgment. We shall
Alright,
have
well,
a good
let's...
chat later, Dr.
Okay,
Reed.
so we can't talk to him. So now with that, and the reason why I did that is because you need to talk to him there in order to get the eavesdrop between these two. Oh, Ichabod moved. Look, he's back. I wonder if that means that like the world has progressed now or something. You know, where'd the other chick go? Giselle, right? I mean, there's Lottie. Where's Giselle? Oh, there's Giselle.
I know I promised you I'd make everything right.
Okay, so yeah, all we got left now is the eavesdrop for them, and then that should clear up both of their. Then that should get us both of the. Yeah, both of our final hints should come from the eavesdrop, and then we can go back to the docks, to the bar there, and talk to the other guy. Since I think we got his last, either we got his last hint, or we got the item, because all I remember is that we needed something from the night asylum, which is where we are, obviously, to get his last one. Okay, so there's apparently a locked room in here, and over the railing. So yeah, our eavesdrop will be somewhere up here, but we obviously need them to come over to do it. So I'll just cut here until they do it, and hopefully they will. I mean, I don't know how long it'll take. Last time I said I'd cut it, it took them all of 2 seconds. But yeah, I'll just cut from now until it gets to where they do it. Oh, there we go. We got it. It took a little while this time. It wasn't quite as fast as the last time I had to cut, but that's fine. That's why I cut it out. But yeah, this should give us our last one for them. We can go back to the other guy. And then I think we may have cleared out, or we may have got everything we need from people except the ones in the East End that we can't actually get to. So that'll be good. Seem to be awfully far away. I feel like standing at the railing right above them would make it less likely that they see me. Of course, they could probably hear me walking.
For Christ's sake, get a grip! Look at yourself!
It's quite hard to do without a mirror. Can I borrow yours? Oh wait, we don't have a house.
Yes, we're poor, but there is work to do. Honest money waiting to be earned.
I had honest work before I was fired by those fascist pigs, remember? So let me drink in peace.
You were fired for the bottle, not for your political opinions. When will you realise that?
Maybe I do drink too much. And maybe it did cost me my job. But the struggle is real, and don't you dare undermine it.
Alright, so there we go. That should have cleared up both. Oh, no, Lottie. Well, we might just have to talk to Lottie about it now that we've witnessed it. But we'll talk to Giselle first.
You again?
2000
What do you
XP
want?
if I chomped on her neck.
Tell me why there is such resentment between you and your sister Lottie.
She recently fell under the sad saint's influence. Like she's an angel, and I'm the bad drinking sister.
Lottie sees herself as an angel. What do you mean?
These days, Lottie feels compelled to help people and follow Sean Hampton's example. What does that make me look like?
It sounds like you may be jealous of your sister.
Of course I am. It's me who fought for our family. It's me who got fired because I led these strikes. And now I'm the bad seed and she's the good angel.
Why would you be the bad sister?
I'm not a bad woman, you know. I'm tough. I get things done. But I have this rage. It makes me do things.
What kind of things?
I don't know, Dr. Reed. It's like, since I can't change this world, I'd rather destroy myself before the world destroys me.
All right.
Well, I'll leave you for now. Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
Okay, so that is that. Now we gotta go and find Lottie, who's apparently talking to Sean. No, not in the same room. And looks like we got her last hint.
Glad to see you again, Mr. Reed.
Lottie, your sister told me you are helping Sean Hampton's charities. Why are you so discreet about it?
I am just trying to do my best. Mr. Hampton deserves our support. These are bad times. We should all help each other.
I don't know.
Miss Paxton, you are too modest. Perhaps it's the mark of a truly benevolent soul.
I'm no saint, believe me. But thank you, Dr. Reed. And if you really think that, just follow my example, sir.
Why do you and your sister Giselle have such opposing views, Lottie?
Giselle whines she lost her job due to her unionist activities, which started her drinking. Truth is, she got fired because she's an alcoholic.
And you don't share your sister's views?
On the contrary, I totally believe that workers need to unite to fight. I just disagree with Giselle's hatred for all wealth and riches.
What do you mean?
I don't believe that you were an automatic arsehole because you were born into a good family.
Perhaps your sister's addiction to alcohol is the result of her despair, but not the cause.
Perhaps you're right. But I'm tired of her playing the outraged and martyred social fighter while I earn money for both of us.
Don't you think she wants to get better?
I believe she knows her alcoholism is a worry to me. And that's another reason why she continues to drink so much.
Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
Yeah, some people just want to be the martyr. You know, they'll make all these choices that ruin their own life, and then, you know, blame their situation, blame other people, blame society in general, you know, and just take absolutely no personal responsibility for their own choices. And I mean, I get that, you know, once you're an alcoholic, that's an addiction. It's a hard thing to kick, but it's possible. People do it all the time. But one of the first things that, you know, if you talk to an alcoholic or somebody who deals with alcoholics, they'll tell you that the first thing you need to do is want to give it up. You know, like, that first step is you making the choice to not do it anymore. I mean, or to cut back, or, you know. Anyway, like I said, I'm pretty sure we should have this guy's last thing now.
Good evening, Mr. Delaney.
What? Oh, you're that doctor.
Is it true Sean Hampton saved your life?
Yep. The sad saint grabbed my soggy ass and brought me back to the pier after I fell into the canal. I was a wreck back then.
Actually, you know what? I should probably make sure that. Let's see. Okay, apparently it doesn't matter.
Were you thankful for what he did for you?
Sean Hampton really acted like a saint that day. But I suppose I'm just another lost soul who doesn't deserve to be saved.
And yeah, we got all of his
Goodbye,
hits anyway.
Mr. Delaney.
Alright. So there we go. Yeah, our map is looking pretty fucking clean. You know, except for the East End part that we can't get to.
Cause a problem as to solve one.
I mean, there's a fuck ton of stuff in this one area. But I'm assuming but it's in, I don't know, it's like kind of just outside the East End.
No one dares go outside.
Anyway, I'm assuming after we do this thing for Sean, we'll get our rank 3 mesmerize, and then we should be able to get into the blind guy's house, which should unlock stuff for him and his sister, and not to mention that's also part of our quest to find somebody who can read the Braille books.
Times like these, a good drink's just as likely to cause a problem as to solve one.
And yeah, so next time we're going to be heading into the sewers, I guess, and potentially, I don't know, you know, I think that, right, because I read that what's-her-face there, our vampire lady friend, moves back to the East End in Chapter 4, so I'm assuming then that Chapter 4 is when we actually go to the East End. So I'm assuming all this Sean Hampton stuff will be done up in this part. So we'll go find the entrance to the sewers at the very least. Because I think that's our last investigation, yeah. Because that guy's in the sewer. And then this is, right, find somebody who can read the Braille alphabet. Which we need Mesmerize 3 for. So yeah, we'll find the entrance to the sewers just so that when or next time I go to record, I can just start right there and be done with it. Well actually the dock should be the safer option for me now. Because we've already been to the door. I've already cleared all the stuff above the docks, so even if we have to drop down, if we drop down at that far end, let's go drop down somewhere else.
Hiding in white. Just saying, we don't have to start with the darkest horse first.
18 and 19A. And let me guess, you guys aren't going to move. Alright, so I guess we'll... Ooh, do I want to kill them now, or do I want to start next part fighting a fucking chaplain? Hold on, let me go on. Yeah, we'll end it now. Okay, so next part, because I'm assuming they're guarding the sewer entrance, since it seems to be right around here. So yeah, next part we'll head into the sewers to find whatever it is Sean wants us to find. We'll rescue the guy that's down there. And yeah, we'll go in there, and then I guess we'll decide Sean's fate once we find whatever we find in there. So thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next week for more.